Hey again, Chris here coming at you with part 2 of our 4-part songwriting series every Saturday as part of Jamaica Center for Arts and Learning's pop-up classes. So last week we went through the process of creating a simple beat to serve as our foundation for our songs. And this week we're going to work on lyrics. You will need something to write with and on, and the music that you created last week. So to recap, we did this by first listening to songs that inspire us and seeing if we could take some of the ideas from those songs and incorporate them into our own songs. I chose to use the song Savage, and if you can hear, the beat that I made last week sounds similar. Here's the beat that I made. So we did this because it's sometimes easier to build off of something that already exists rather than start from scratch. And starting from scratch can be kind of scary. We also listened to sounds around us to see if there was anything inspiring that we're hearing right now. I heard cars driving by, and that made me think of the people driving those cars and what kind of music they would be playing, and that made me think of hip-hop. So once we had our inspiration, we tried to recreate those beats in our own songs, just using our own voice and any recording device. I used an RC505 loop station so that I could loop my voice back immediately. But you could use GarageBand or any other free software out there for your phone or for your laptop. You can even use a tape recorder if you still have one of those. The song that we made last week had 3 parts. A drum pattern made up of 3 sounds, B, T, and K. A bass line, kind of like a guitar. And a melody line, kind of like a trumpet. And that's where we left off. And the homework was to keep listening to more songs and to try coming up with some beginnings of songs yourself. As many as you can. Just composed of those 3 simple parts. A drum pattern, a bass line, and a melody line. So now what I want to do is a warm-up. I'm a singer, and a lot of the times before you have to go and perform, you have to warm up your voice, just like you're warming up to go exercise or something. So here's some vocal exercises that you can do at home. Hopefully, people around you won't mind. First thing we're going to do is just blow out a lip trill. Sounds like this. Try it with me. Ready? Good. And I'm also sort of going from the top to the bottom of my range. And now let's try going from the bottom to the top. And now let's try going back and forth. Good. I also like to stretch out my face. Wow, 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 whoa, wow, wow. Could stick out your tongue. Stick it out to the right side, and the left side, and up, and down, and all around. Wipe it off. Let's do a yawn. Ready? Just a simple yawn. Yeah, you thought you were just writing lyrics, but actually you're learning how to sing too, which is cool. Meow, 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 meow. That's a good one for when you want to be a cat. Meow, 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 meow. And also getting your sound out to the front of your mask, which is right over here. When you're singing, you should always think about your sound being kind of like right up here. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Try to get really nasally with it. Meow, 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 meow. Now, I know we're writing lyrics, but it's good to warm up your voice because part of the lyric writing is going to just come from improvising with speaking, right? With your voice, with how many sounds you can make. So I think it's a valuable thing to do. Another thing we can do with our voice, and maybe it'll influence lyrics too, is we can go from really loud to really, really soft. So those kinds of things could influence the types of lyrics that you write. So I just want to have your voice as another layer of what could possibly influence the text that you come up with. I think I'm feeling pretty warm. So this week, we're focusing on lyric writing. Now, since we started with music last week, I want to see if that music inspired any lyrical ideas. So this is what we had last week. I forgot to mention I added another layer on top of the song last week because I was just feeling inspired. So here it is. Actually, I'm starting to like how it sounds if I take out the bass line. Can you find me? Can you find me? Can you find me? Got a little carried away there, but how did I come up with that? Well, first of all, I chose one syllable words, right? Can you find me? Here's things that I sort of have always in the back of my mind when I'm trying to think of lyrics. Keep it simple, right? So you don't need a lot of fancy words. Can you find me? All one syllable words, all very direct. In fact, the more words a syllable has, the harder it might be to sing and even to understand. Take the word discombobulated or anthropomorphize, for example. It doesn't sound too great being sung. Anthropomorphize, discombobulated. I mean, maybe discombobulated could work, but let's just stick with 3 syllables at max for now. Confusion, forever, things like that. If you listen to like some hip hop and pop songs, try to listen for words that are more than 4 syllables and see how many you can find. Repetition is your friend. So we're looking for a hook, right? A hook is something that we can sing over and over again that's catchy, that can serve the rest of the song, can be sort of like a jumping point for the rest of the lyrics. So take, for example, Prince, right? I want to be your lover. Bum, bum, bum. I want to be your... So, I want to be your lover is the hook, right? And then you can do I want to be, I want to do this, I want to do this. But we have a place to start from. Or Beat It by Michael Jackson, right? Beat it, beat it, beat it. Super simple. So maybe for your song, just come up with 4 simple 1-syllable words that you can try repeating over and over again off of what you did, and see if you can let those inform other words. If you are absolutely stuck and you just have no idea where to go, don't worry, because I have some templates. Have you ever done Mad Libs? Right? Mad Libs is kind of where you have a sentence with some blanks in it, and you're supposed to fill in the blanks. It's a fun game to play, but I like to use this technique for lyric writing. I have some sentences here that need you to fill in the blanks. Let's read it. There blank go, blank away from blank again. All right, so you can fill in those first 3 blanks with whatever you think works. Remember when it was blank, and in this blank you should name or describe your favorite place. I don't know if it'll ever be the same, but it's blank. Put the time of day, and I see blank. Put something in your favorite place. All right, so here's an example. The words in bold are the words that we filled in with the blanks. There we go again, away from each other. And then I have another, and then this is just a repetition right here. Away from each other again, remember. Remember when it was me and you, ooh. Another repetition. I don't know if it will ever be the same, but it's you, the one I want. And I see you. Then we have It's Like I Love You Again, repeated 4 times, because that was the hook for this particular song. And actually, we came up with that hook after doing all of these Mad Libs. So that was a way to arrive at sort of the same place. Here's a continuation of that if you want to keep going with that template. Now I know blank, it's true. I want to go blank with you, even though blank. So I'm going to blank, and just when I think it's blank, it's like I love you again. So that could be another hook. That could be, maybe you could even use those words. It's like I love you again. That's cool. I came up with those with a group of students. So feel free to just use them, because that's all this is. We're all just sharing each other's art and building off of one another. Some tools you can use when you're trying to fill in these blanks and you still can't, you're drawing a blank for the blank, right? Think of imagery and metaphor. Think of your 5 senses. Think of sounds like ooh, swish, bop, or even just an inhale, or a gasp, or an exhale. Who knows? Add some reverb on it. Why not? Silence is also an option. Try different rhythms, different ways of saying the same words. All right, another template. Why not? Days like this, I fill in the blank. I'm blank for, and then this next one, fill in the blank with something that rhymes with the first thing that you filled in the blank with. All right? So if you filled in the first blank with dog, this one may be log, right? Do that again 3 times. So it's I'm blank for rhyme number 1. I'm blank to rhyme number 2. I'm blank of rhyme number 3. Then we're going to choose a color. Let's say purple. Purple is like blank. Again, like blank, something different. I see blank, tastes like blank. All right. And then I have down here some notes. Tastes like air. Me, the old me. Tastes like an empty void. So those are some templates that I've used before that you can feel free to use. We also have some prompts here that we can use. So I'm going to give you some prompts. These are more of just like free writing prompts, right? So there isn't a blank. You can just write and see what comes out. This is just to get your brain juices flowing. All right. Imagine that you are a superhero traveling on a journey to meet your ultimate adversary. That's your enemy, right? How are you traveling? What is your secret weapon? And what happens if you don't succeed? Number 2, write about your home like it's a museum exhibition. Give a tour to a visiting group. All right, so this allows you to remain a little bit objective about stuff. All right, another one. Write about the food that you ate today as if it's the first time you ever tasted it, right? Describe it to someone that's maybe never tasted food before and use all of your 5 senses. Number 4, write about how it feels to be in your body as if you were an alien inhabiting a human form, right? So what will you do in this new body? Do you enjoy it? How did you get there? Can you escape? Does anyone else know? One of my favorite ones, number 5, write to your future self. Simple. Or from your future self. Use 2 voices. In other words, a dialogue. Looking back at you, looking back at me, looking up at me, seeing me, looking down at me. If none of these things work, just write gibberish. Nonsense. Just say anything that comes to your mind. Ding 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 ding. Wow 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 wow. Hey and then wow. Can you say some wow and say wow. Game with the fame game. Shake you can't shake you can't fake it fake it shake it keep fake it shake. Just see what kinds of sounds that you enjoy making. And just repeat those sounds. It's like an exercise, right? It's an exercise in just trying to tune into what you really enjoy and what you're really curious about exploring. So, lyric writing, week number 2. Just write everything down, even if it doesn't make any sense. You know, there's a theater director named Richard Foreman, and he used to write down text, every day on different sheets of paper, and then he would throw them all up in the air into a pile, and then he'd sit in the pile and sift through the different pieces of text and sort of lay them out next to each other and see, I don't know, what kinds of different combinations he could make and maybe what works and what doesn't work, kind of like collage. You might even find text from other places, advertisements, magazines, newspapers, something that your mom wrote, something that you saw on a bus, who knows? Something that you heard on TV, something like a commercial or something like that. You can use the templates that I showed you. Just go ahead and rewind and pause back to that part of the video, and you can have that up on your screen. You can make a mind map and just have one word like rose, and then see how many other words you can associate with rose, like rose, red, blood, shed, I don't know. And see where one word can take you to all these different places. Or you can just use non-language and complete gibberish. It's totally fine. Next week, we're going to try putting together the lyrics that we've come up with to the music that we've already started. And we're going to see how those 2 things work together. So that's your homework. Write everything down, observe, listen to more music. Don't judge yourself. All right? See you next week.